What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Dominick, aka Get Your Goat 5150 in the gaming community. And today on a DGA Live, I wanted to do a video about the Nintendo Switch and why we need a revision this year, at least by this holiday season. So the reason why I'm making this video is because recently I've been playing a lot of Switch. Working from home, it seems to be my go-to portable console. I love my Xbox. I love gaming online with friends and family and all that stuff. But the Switch is just the portability aspect of it. We love it. We fucking love it. But I have noticed some things that are needing of an update, and an update soon. And this is why I'm making the video. We're going to talk about this guy right here. Everybody and their mother owns this game if you own a Nintendo Switch, and I'm going to tell you why this needs an update. So before we get into that, we got two big heavy hitting consoles coming out, right? We got the Xbox Series X coming out this holiday. We got the PlayStation 5 coming out this holiday. Both talking about doing 120 frames per second. We got ray tracing. We got load times that are 400% faster than the current generation. We got up to 8K gaming. Nintendo's not going to go this route. I have stated in previous videos, Nintendo is not a heavy-hitting console and doesn't need to be. But with that being said, that doesn't mean we don't need a boost in performance. And I was playing this today, and that made me realize why we need this boost in performance. So the Nintendo Switch, at best, there's a handful of games out there that can do 1080p at 60 frames per second. Most of it is 720p at 60 frames per second, 1080p at 30. Okay, this is kind of the norm. There is some 60 FPS games out there. But I was playing Breath of the Wild, and we know that Breath of the Wild originally came out on the Wii U. When the Nintendo Switch launched in 2017, they immediately ported this game over to the Switch and gave it a boost in graphics and all that stuff too. It looks great. It looks awesome. It's an awesome game. But I did notice that the certain areas of the game, there is some frame drop. Not to mention it's a battery killer. Okay, so play any casual game. Play Animal Crossing, for example. And you'll probably get about 4.5 hours of battery life out of your Switch in portable mode. Breath of the Wild is going to knock that down to about 2.5, 3. It's very demanding game. But I did notice that I had some frame dropping on this game. Now this is not a new game, and the system is having a hard time running it when there's a lot of things going on screen. Another game I noticed was Mario Kart 8. Again, not a new game. Playing in single player mode, docked on the TV, beautiful, looks great. One of the best Mario Karts ever. 1080p, the whole 9 yards. Beautiful backgrounds, great colors, a lot going on in the background. So now, recently, we have been playing, we've been having like Mario Kart tournaments here at the house. Okay, 4 of us docking up to one console and playing in the old school split screen, right? Playing 4 players on a single console on Mario Kart 8 dumbed it down to 30 frames per second. Now, to the average gamer, you probably won't notice this. To an enthusiast like ourselves, and hardcore gamers, they will notice this drop in frame rate. And that's because we had 4 people playing on one console, and we don't have the power. The Tegra X1 doesn't have the power to run co-op like this. Now, there has been rumor, and this is another reason why I'm making a video. Last year, we got a sneak peek at teaser of Breath of the Wild 2. Okay? We didn't actually see gameplay or anything like that. We just got this teaser. There's a rumor speculating around the net, I don't know if it's true, that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to have co-op. Which, if it does, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. Not unheard of in a Zelda game. We had co-op in some Zelda games for the DS, and we had some co-op back on the GameCube. So it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a co-op section on Zelda. So having this on Breath of the Wild 2 got me scratching my head. I'm like, okay, right now, this 2017 game has a little bit of a struggle running when there's a lot of things on screen. Now add a second player in it, and hopefully a better graphic too. You know what I mean? Anytime you come out with a sequel, your goal is to better the one before it. Does this always happen? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But that's the goal, is to try to do better than you did previously. Look at the Mario Brothers franchise. Super Mario Brothers, right? Classic fucking game. Came with the NES, right? Super Mario Brothers 2 came out, and graphically it blew the first one away, even though it's still an 8-bit game. Then Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, and fucking, oh my god, one of the greatest games of all time. They implemented like different suits. We had the raccoon suit, the tanuki, the fucking frog, all this shit. It got better as the franchise went along, and that's what we would expect with another Breath of the Wild. Better story, better graphics, more gameplay interaction, all this other stuff. And I don't think that the Nintendo Switch is going to be able to handle it. The Tegra X1, a great chip, don't get me wrong. It's done its job for a 2017 console. It's now aged 3 years, and the advances are, I mean, look what we're getting from Xbox and from PlayStation. We're getting PC gaming in a console for like the first time, 120 frames per second and stuff. I'm not saying Nintendo should go this route. I don't think they don't have to. They don't have to. But we do need to bump up performance. Another game I play too, and I'm like, I'm ready to delete it off my Switch, is Fortnite. I downloaded Fortnite because it was free, and a friend told me to. He's like, hey man, you can play Fortnite on there, give it a shot. The best I got out of Fortnite was 30 frames per second in the lobby. I got into a match. The match got a little bit heated, where there was a whole bunch of players coming into one area to battle, and I dropped down to 18 frames per second. It was almost unplayable. Very unplayable. And I'm like, this game's not formatted for the Switch. The Switch has a hard time running it. Now, last year, I believe, some of the devs for Fortnite did pull some of the features out of the Switch to help it run better. And I think one of those features was the capture feature. I think that's gone. I don't know. I've never captured anything on, or hit the capture button on Fortnite, so I don't know. But I think that was pulled to help runability on it. Now, the last thing a dev wants is to constantly have a team working on bug fixes. Are you going to have bug fixes? Yes, it's every game does. Every game's got some type of bug. They gotta do a patch and all this other stuff and fix the runability on it. But you don't want people working around the clock to try to get this game to run correctly. It should run correctly on launch. At least you hope so, okay? We also got some huge titles coming out. We got Cyberpunk coming out. You know, that's been anticipated for years now. And it's not going to run on the Switch. It's not going to make it to the Switch. Even if they dumb it down like they did with The Witcher. When I saw that The Witcher 3 was being released to the Nintendo Switch, I was like, no way. No fucking way. Well, sure as shit, they dumbed it down graphically in order for it to run on the Switch. And now, if you play it side by side, even docked, you play it docked side by side, Switch versus Xbox One X, the Xbox destroys it in graphics. But there is a market for it. For the first time, you were able to play The Witcher 3 in portable mode. You could take it outside, you could play it on the bus, you could play it on the train, you could go play it at the beach, wherever you want, because you have the portability aspect of the Switch. And we don't want to lose that, okay? A lot of people keep talking about the Nintendo Switch Pro. Nintendo came out and said, hey, we are not developing any new hardware this year. But this is why we need some type of revision this year, is because holiday launch with these new consoles and these new games coming out, the Switch is already, at this point in time, struggling to run some of these games, okay? So if you go to the eStore right now and you look at a whole bunch of indie titles, majority of the indie titles coming out for digital download are these 8-bit games, okay? They're brand new games, but they're done in the 8-bit format or the 16-bit format, like Shovel Knight, Stardew Valley, stuff like that. They're done in this old school, taking you back to 1989, and I love that. But it's not for everybody. Some people do want a big title to come over to Switch, and we expect it to be dumbed down, and that's the trade-off we do to have portability, okay? So, what can Nintendo do? Nintendo needs to do something before these titles hit, and because, I mean, look at the developers. Let me backtrack a little bit. We got actual visual gameplay of Unreal Engine 5. This is the future of gaming right now. Developers are going to Unreal Engine 5. Currently they're using Unreal Engine 4. But with that being the new norm and going to be the what they're going to be using to develop games for the Xbox Series X and PS5, they're not going to want to dumb down even more to get it on the Switch. So we're going to lose these titles on the Nintendo Switch. But like I said, Nintendo doesn't need a hard-hitting console. They just need to be able to keep up and run what they have already flawlessly, okay? So, yeah, it's just kind of disappointing to see that what they have out now, even first-party games, what they have out now struggles to be ran on their hardware. So, some people are talking about maybe they need to upgrade to the Tegra X2. I don't think that's a good chip choice. The X2, I know, is currently being used in the Mercedes infotainment center. So if you've got a Mercedes, the infotainment is ran on X2. I think some drones are using X2. I don't think it's actually a gaming type chip. But Tegra does have, or NVIDIA and Tegra, have the Xavier chip. And this chip is capable of 8K processing. We don't need that in the Nintendo Switch, but we do need a performance boost. The X1 Plus is an overclocked, boosted X1. That helps. But we need something. Nintendo, we definitely need something. I would love for new hardware to have 1080p gameplay in handheld mode. I would love that. I would love a bigger screen, because right now, if you look at not the Switch Lite, the Switch Lite is nice, but if we look at the actual Nintendo Switch, there's a lot of unused real estate on that screen. If we could stretch that screen bezel to bezel, you're gonna have 7.5 inches of actual gameplay. But we're only getting 720p in handheld, and with our phones now being the norm of, watching videos and stuff like that, we're getting 2K. We're getting 1440p on our phones. And I get it. Our phones, some of our phones are $1,000. I get it. And we demand that type of quality and specs when we're spending $1,000 on a phone. But if Nintendo would come out and just revise, and they don't even have to come out with a Switch Pro just yet. Maybe save the Switch Pro for 2021. But let's look back, let's turn back the clock on what they did with the 3DS and the 2DS, okay? Out of fucking left field, they came out with what they called the new 2DS XL, the new 3DS XL. Said it right on the box. I actually own one. And they gave it a performance boost. Came out with some new colors, all that good stuff. This is what I want to see from Nintendo this holiday season. We don't need a Switch Pro yet. Let them work that out. Let's save that for 2021, when all these new games really start hitting the market. All right, we got a handful coming out this Christmas. But we're not going to really see the next generation of new gaming until 2021. So, yeah, we'll wait. But let's get a performance boost. We need it. And after playing just a couple of games and seeing these frames drops and it dumbing down to 30 frames per second and getting glitches and getting frame drop and getting down to 18 frames per second on fucking Fortnite, the stock hardware can't handle it. So let me know what you guys think, right? Post me in the comments. Tell me what you guys think. What do you think Nintendo's plans are? Am I being unrealistic here? I don't know. just speaking my mind here, shoot you guys a video, staying in touch and whatnot. Hit me up on Twitter, GOAT5150, Arena5150 on Instagram. I'll have those handles in the description below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and try to grow my channel, get some better equipment up in here, and just make some better videos. Oh, and on top of it, this is the first time I am filming at 60 frames per second too. So hopefully that goes without a flaw, and it looks great on your guys' TVs and on your tablets or whatever, all that good stuff. So until then, catch you guys on the next one. Peace and hair grease.